How are we going, folks? Top 6 insects and pests to look out for in your summer garden. Number 1, snails and slugs, folks, because they eat holes in all your leafy greens. Now you can put snail bait down. There's eco-friendly ones and pet-friendly ones as well, or eggshells, or mulch, or a spray, snail away spray. But I don't use any of that stuff, folks. I basically overplant my garden bed so that I have enough there to feed the snail, slugs, and also feed the family as well. But if you are in a small garden bed or a small courtyard where you don't have enough space to plant multiples of everything, use a snail bait, but make sure it's a nice friendly one. There's no chemicals in it. There are certified organic snail baits out there, and we're actually bringing one out too very soon. Or otherwise you can put copper tape around the edge of your garden bed. Now we showed that yesterday on our citrus tree. You can place copper tape around the band of a raised bed, whether it's metal bed or a timber bed. The snails can't travel over it because it creates a short little current that scares them away. But I also allow my chickens to come out into the veggie garden bed to do a bit of a hunt around. Now they do clean up the garden beds for me really well as far as the snails and slugs are concerned, but they make a big mess at the end of the day. But that's a small price to pay for a big gain. Number 2, folks, it's caterpillars and butterflies, because that's where they come from. Now, I've got netting here. This is insect netting and bird netting, which is a great way to deter them from coming into your garden and making a mess of it. Basically laying eggs like a B-52 bomber, drops a couple of eggs off, a couple of days later they've hatched, they start eating into your plants. Now, you can put the netting up if you like, or you can use a product like Dipal, which is a nice, safe, organic, natural form of insecticide, which really only works on caterpillars, or you just let them go through their whole cycle like I do. Plant lots, they eat a little bit, you eat the rest, and everyone's happy. But if you haven't got the space, spray Dipal all over it, or put a netting over the top like this to protect them. But remember, you always do need to open it up to allow the pollinators to get in so they can do their job, but just behind them will be the white butterflies. So get your tennis rackets out and do a bit of backhand and forehand, get a workout and look after your garden at the same time. Number 3 is white fly. Have a look at this. They fly around everywhere. Each little female can lay up to 200 eggs a day, I think, or every 3 days. But either way, it's a lot of eggs, and every 3 days they cycle, which means you've got thousands upon thousands within the end of the week or by the end of the week. So you need to get on top of it and spray it or get rid of your plants. Now, you can have sacrificial plants like these endives here. That's where they go to, and they leave my tomato plants alone. Or you control them with a spray. Now, Eco Neem, Eco Oil combined together is a great way, or go to your kitchen pantry. Chili, garlic, oil, soap, turmeric, 1 litre of water, teaspoon of each, boil, cool, strain and spray. Play it back until you'll memorise it yourself. So white fly is very damaging to your garden, and they migrate everywhere. I can't stress how important it is to control them. Number 4 is codling moth, folks. Now that is another nasty pest, and it can attack all your apples and pear trees, and they make a mess of it. So they'll go into each apple and destroy it, and half the apple can be rotted. Now, you can still eat the apple at the end of the day, obviously the part that hasn't been affected, but at the end of the day you want to eat the whole apple, not just half of it. So what you've got to do is either put the netting on top. So there are 3 stages. There is the larvae stage, which means they crawl up from the ground, they pupate in the soil, hibernate, they come out in springtime, crawl up the trunk. There's also the adult that flies around and lays its eggs, and there's also the other one that comes back down to lay more eggs and walks down. So you need to put a tree band around the trunk of your tree, and that's a bit of masking tape and tree guard paste, or Vaseline if you like, and that way you create a barrier, stops them from crawling up and down. You also need to spray it with CGWS, which will protect the tree as a coat of armour or a shield of armour. That way they don't penetrate through into the fruit, the adult that is. And also, but more importantly, is hanging the codling moth trap up in the tree. You have one of those with the lures inside, you'll attract the male females. They won't go to your tree, they'll actually go in there, get stuck to a sticky board, then everyone's happy. So traps, spray, tree bed and netting, and that way you pretty much covered all your bases. Number 5, folks, is fruit fly. Now we've got the common garden fruit fly, Queensland fruit fly, and Mediterranean, which is starting to show its face on our borders of Victoria. Now this is for all of Australia. If you've got fruit fly, you need to hang your fruit fly traps. This is our fruit fly trap, which is the Frisian one, and it has a lure that attracts the egg-laying female fruit flies, but there are plenty of other ones out there, folks. So check out your favourite fruit fly trap. Give ours a go if you need to, because they come in, they lay the little egg on there, it penetrates in the little grub and it starts to rot out the fruit, and the fruit has to be destroyed. You need to bag it, get rid of it to control it. You can put netting over the top, just as we spoke about codling moth. Do exactly the same here with a CGWS spray as a protectant. Hang your trap up and put your netting over the top, and just pray that they don't come and destroy your garden. And number 6 is citrus gall wasp. It gets into the branches of your tree and they start to swell out little lumps, calluses. This tree is nice and clean because I'm very lucky about it. Now, what you need to do with that is spray the tree again as a protectant with CGWS. Hang your CGWT, which is a trap, citrus gall wasp trap, to protect the tree. Now, if you have got a lot on there, like lumps on it, the swelling ones on the branches, you need to remove all the new ones. The old ones that have been there longer than 9 months will be empty, so there's no need to prune them off. You can skin them on the outside a little bit. You can drill a hole through it, so you can aerate the middle of it, so you can use a potato pillar or a drill bit to drill a hole through it, or simply spray it with CGWS and hang a trap up, and that way you give your tree 100% protection from the little grub. So these are my top 6 insects to think about in your garden when you're wandering around the garden, but I'm sure there'll be plenty more out there, and I'm sure many of you have seen other insects and pests in the garden. But let's put a shout out for the possums, the chickens, the rabbits, the rats, the mice, the dogs, the cats, and even the humans sometimes. Look after your garden, take care of it, and whatever you do, keep it natural, keep it organic, keep it safe for you, the environment, the pets, the family and friends. Enjoy some wonderful products on our website, Vasili'sGarden.com. We're running our specials all the way through till Christmas. Enjoy some great products at discounted prices. From me, Vasili, Maresi.